Hey, so welcome back, my cranky disciples of duct tape and digital decay, my flashlight philosophers, my trench coat prophets of the parking lot. Hobo Yeti here, and if this is your first time, well, brace yourself, Buttercup. You've just stumbled into a channel that smells faintly of wet nylon, sarcasm, and the last remaining drop of idealism left unsupervised in America. And this isn't just a channel, it's an accidental confession booth wrapped in tarp and bad lighting. It's what happens when a man with a bad back, a busted budget, and a barely contained sense of cosmic injustice finds a phone with 3% battery and something to say. So what exactly are you watching? Is it a survival channel? A stand-up comedy act filmed by a nihilist with a mosquito problem? A spiritual TED Talk narrated by the ghost of someone's uncle who saw too much at Burning Man? Yes, obviously. It's all of those. And not. This glorious mess started as your basic how-to survive when you're broke, old, and the social safety net feels like it was crocheted by drunk spiders. Top 10 lists for people over 60 trying to stay alive without popping a hip. Real talk about gear that won't get you killed. Butane stoves, bug-out bags, solar panels the size of pizza boxes. You remember the hits, the Hollywood Hobo Volume 1, the Homeless Welcome Kit, and Homeless Hacks for Seniors. We covered prepper stuff too, because let's face it, every homeless guy is basically a doomsday prepper who started early and didn't get a bunker. I did versus videos, because who doesn't want to see a call center rep thrown into a cage match with a bushcrafter over who's got more suppressed trauma? And you know what? That's all still here. That's not going anywhere. I'll still be reviewing the gear, unpacking the survival psychology, teaching you how to live like the system already failed, because, well, it did. You're still going to get the tactical sarcasm, still going to get the top 10 lists, now with 25% more existential dread and 40% less optimism. It's the same flavor, just marinated longer in budget despair and cooked over a camp stove powered by rage. But something shifted, somewhere between monologuing about the virtues of gators and explaining how to wash your underwear in a Taco Bell bathroom without looking like you've been possessed. This channel evolved, not on purpose, mind you. Evolution here is more like mildew. It creeps up on you and suddenly you're different, wetter, smarter, slightly funnier. Because I didn't start this channel to become a brand, I started it to survive, and now I use it to stay sane, sort of. Which brings us to the My Monthly Mental Decay into Insanity vlog. Oh yeah, baby. Little digital postcards from the mental health frontier. Picture a man alone in a tent, staring dead-eyed into his cracked screen while unraveling like a Dollar Tree sweater. Only funnier. It's like Bob Ross painting with tears instead of titanium white. These vlogs are my slow descent into madness, with stopovers at grief, rage, acceptance, and the kind of bitter enlightenment you only get when you've eaten cold ravioli with a spork at 3 a.m. next to a Walmart parking lot. I talk about depression, about loneliness, about staring down the barrel of invisibility. Sometimes I laugh, sometimes I don't. Sometimes I just look into the lens like I'm trying to hypnotize the next poor soul who asks if I've tried getting a job. And you know, maybe that sounds bleak, maybe it is, but here's the thing. I believe in laughing through the fire. I believe that gallows humor isn't just a coping mechanism, it's a weapon, because when the world is broken, mocking it is a form of resistance. So yeah, we're going to talk about serious stuff now. We're going to talk about shelters that operate like open-air prisons, about how AI is trying to turn your art, your voice, and your memories into profitable mulch for the corporations you'll never meet, about how housing has become a game of musical chairs played on a sheet of black ice. And maybe I'll throw in something absurd, like a list of the top 7 soup kitchen entrees that are probably just repurposed dog food, or a dramatic reading of public restroom graffiti from a Denny's in Tacoma, or a short documentary about the mysterious community of elderly people who use carts as fortresses and know 7 ways to weaponize a can of tuna. Because this channel isn't just about what I carry on my back, it's about what I carry in my head and in my gut, and what I scream into the void when the void gets cheeky and asks if I've considered gratitude journaling. And look, I don't make much money doing this, but I do make something, and I'm genuinely grateful for that. YouTube may be glitchy, moody, and allergic to nuance, but it's still one of the only places where someone like me can turn survival into storytelling and storytelling into enough pennies to matter. It gives me a chance, a voice, a weird little corner of the internet where I get to shout into the wind, and sometimes, miraculously, someone hears it, and I don't take that for granted. I'm just a guy, living outside, recording his thoughts, making weird videos for other weirdos, for the people who've been chewed up and spit out by a system that doesn't know how to say sorry, for the folks who've got $4, 2 tent stakes, and enough dark humor to fuel a small revolution, for anyone who's tired of being polite about how much it hurts. So yeah, the channel's evolving, still survival, still sarcasm, but now we're opening it up. Mental health, political rot, AI absurdity, shelter myths, philosophical daydreams, angry bedtime stories for grown-ass adults who know hope comes wrapped in a joke that sounds too painful to laugh at, but too true not to. So here's your invitation. Stay weird with me. Let the algorithm chew on this voice until it spits out something too human to optimize. Watch me burn truth on a camp stove while telling stories the world wants you to forget. And then ask yourself, what are you going to do with this information now that your brain's been, gently vandalized by a homeless man in a tent with a free video editor? I hope your road is a good one. And if you're homeless, I hope it doesn't suck for you. And remember, if you feel invisible, it means you're still looking. Signing off.